show, and I don't know if you've ever been here before, if you ever plan on coming, but we're going to show you a brief glimpse of a town we know as Moora. Now, many of you say, oh, that's the place that flooded back in 1999. Yeah, we'll talk on that a little bit, but it's a live, bubbly country town, and all kinds of things happening, and including a great big football day they're going to have with some of the Eagles and Dockers hopefully coming up. And I'm here at the college, and I'm going to have a chat with Pauline Gartner with a T, who kind of runs the place here. Hi Pauline, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thanks.
Tell us a bit about the college here.
The college is set up to accommodate the isolated children from this region so that they can attend high school.
And they come from like all over. I was speaking to a few of the kids before, very nice kids too, by the way, from Lancelin and just all over the place around here. Wedge Island as well, and all over. We
have them as far north as Wanneroo and also Mullawa now, yeah. So, and out to Dalwallinu.
And the big push for here is, as I think your motto says, keep the country kids in the country. So if you know somebody in the country area and they don't really want the kids to go so far away, obviously this is the big advantage. They're not having to, the flies are here too, by the way. They're not having to go, especially on me. Should have bathed. Now the kids, they can come here, they can be accommodated, they can go to high school here and everything.
The high school does a great job in educating the rural kids. We really stress the importance of education, and this provides the access to education in the country so that the parents are close to the kids, they're in a safe environment, and they can compete locally in their sports. They get that community spirit there inbuilt for them to be involved, like in the Youth Advisory Council. We have, the council is progressive. They promote the youth having a say in what happens in the town, which makes them feel welcome and important. Yeah.
Now, something else I noticed here in Moora, it is very big on education. We've seen 2 primary schools, a high school, a TAFE. There's kind of like everything here. So what ages do you cater for here?
We have had from year 5 up to 18 years old. We have had some TAFE students boarding at the college, but mostly they enrol for year 8 to year 12.
Okay, so they come here, but another thing I noticed too here at St. James, you guys, it's not really just come in and you dump there. You guys have a lot of activities. We see some of the students have brought their horses with them, and in their dorms we had a bit of a wander through. We've seen they make the dorms feel a bit like home. And there's a lot of you have a lot of activities, and some I understand almost every weekend or every other weekend there's something like a camp out, or there's something going for the kids all the time.
We try and structure the activities so that the students can go home one weekend, and then the next weekend there's something organised for them to do. We either go to the coast for an outing, or to Perth to movies. Skating is a favourite one. Also, the boys have got into the rollerblading, skating.
Okay.
So the staff organised a tour of like the skate parks in Perth. That's a real popular one.
Good. And some of the students, I noticed some of the guys and that bring their skateboards and all that with them and hang out and muck around on the skateboard. So there's all kinds of activities for them here, but you guys also tend to also go out of your way to make sure there's activities for them.
That's a part of a structured recreational plan for them, so that they may get access to participate in something that they wouldn't normally do at home with their family.
Yeah.
So it broadens like their range of activities that they can participate in.
Good.
Not necessarily compete in, but that they can do something different. Like on the camps, we'd like do high ropes course, abseiling type things.
Okay.
Horse riding for a lot of kids that hadn't done it.
Good.
We've been to Yanship caving. This year, the students have been down to Albany for a camp.
Fantastic.
So
So you get around and have a bit of fun. It's not just here in Moora, but you do a lot of things here locally as well. Now, and also when they come, they each have their own little room section, and they make that as close to home as possible. We see the teddy bears and stuff all over the place.
We encourage them to make it feel like home. They can bring almost anything. A funny thing was a boy brought his own toaster, but he wanted to start having his
I
own
like the kid already.
I mean, we try and stick to the educational things like computer or laptop or, girly
Internet
stuff.
running all the time too, I saw.
Here we have, yeah.
Now, if someone out there knows somebody or they'd like to find out a bit more about it, how do they go about that? What would be the phone number here?
Our contact number's 0896 511 240. Okay. So if they phone, they'll probably get Marion Matthews, admin assistant, and then be directed to, supervisory staff or myself, the manager, to whoever, they need to help them.
And you currently can have up to 60 children. At the moment you have about 43, so
right.
It's a bit of room.
Yeah, we do. And we do have Perth kids here, some families who have relatives in the area or the parents went to school here at Central Midlands. They've enrolled their children here. So they travel up from Perth, to board as well.
Fantastic. And there's also an email there as well. And I think if we find out a web page, we'll chuck that up as well. It's being redone. It's up, needs updating, whatever. But if you want to find out a bit about it, give those numbers a call. Anybody also who kind of helps you guys out here you want to say thanks to?
I think really the whole staff do promote the college, like within the town and the wider community. But in particular with the Eagles, because you were coming, for that as well, the clinic, Craig Wall and Rebecca House, they've done a lot of work for the community. They've organised this. There'll be 400 children from our region participating in tomorrow's clinic. So it's a brilliant, excellent job. And I thank you guys for coming up here to give more a little bit of coverage other than when we flood.
Yeah, that's why as soon as you say more, everyone says, oh, that right, they flooded. Yeah, well, as you can see, it's dry at the moment. Anyway, if you'd like to find out a bit more about St. James, give them a call and come down and they'll tell you all the bits and pieces, and you can get a free fly to take home with you as well.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
I hope your stay's enjoyable.
It will be.
I hope you get to know some of our local people.
We're going to do our best. Yes. G'day everybody. Now I'm out about, 5 or 6 Ks back towards Perth from Moora. I'm having a chat with the Shire President, Mr. Michael Bates, or everyone says call him Mick. So how you going, Mick?
Good.
Now, tell us a little bit about Moora. Now, we know, of course, we touched a little bit about the flooding you had back in, 99? Everything's back to normal. How's everything going?
Oh, no, yeah, everything's well and truly back to normal now, and we're moving well past the flood. I think a lot of people have even forgotten the floods had been there.
Yeah.
And, we're well past that.
Yeah, well, the thing I noticed, too, is that with Moora, it's very much an educational town, as well as, of course, wheat. That's what we're out here. The wheat and everything else, and it seems to be kind of like a town that seems to be going forward rather than a lot of towns in the country are kind of gone a little bit stagnant or quiet.
Yeah, no, we've set out on a deliberate policy to enhance Moora town site as a council, and that's one of the reasons it looks as though, population-wise, we're actually probably similar to a lot of towns, although we've got a lot more population, but growth-wise we're been pretty stagnant, so as to speak, but we recognise that and we're really doing something about it, and things are starting to move. There's a lot of new houses being built in Moora at the moment, and people are really quite interested in the place, so some of the strategies we've put into place 3 or 4 years ago are starting to pay dividends now.
Now, sadly, I've never actually been here before, but the first thing I noticed when you come in, a lot of like car yards, a lot of industry, a lot of course, farm machinery sales yards as well. So is this pretty much the biggest area, say, between Perth and maybe Geraldton or something for that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is the regional centre between Perth and Geraldton, and also this area here is probably one of the safest farming areas in Australia, not just Western Australia, but
because of the weather.
Because of the weather, yeah, we always get a good production here. Very rarely ever had a failure. Even in the very wet years, we still managed to get pretty good crops. And certainly in the last couple of years, and this last year in particular, has been extremely good around here. Very good returns for farmers last year. So, this is a very good area here. Extremely good.
And I noticed on the way here to Moora too, we came in today, it was just really beautiful. Of course, it doesn't take much rain to start getting all this green coming out. And I see you're getting ready to probably do a crop or two.
Yeah, we are. We're just waiting. Actually, we're waiting for a little bit of rain now. So and hopefully there's a bit coming right now. But yes, very quickly greens up once we get a bit of rain. That's one of the things about this area. It can be very dry looking at times, but overnight it can change to a green carpet, and it really, the country is really looking quite good now.
And slightly hilly. Here we are, it's fairly flat, so obviously good for ploughing and
well, just behind us here is actually the river that caused all the flooding. And in fact, if we were in the in March '99 floods, you'd be standing in water right here now because this whole paddock got flooded. But obviously this is a very good cropping paddock as well. So. Yeah.
Oh, I tell pretty bad jokes, and most people say I'm pretty wet anyway. Now, Moora, do you know much about where the name came from and all that?
No, I don't know a lot. I think it's an Aboriginal name, but I'm not really sure.
Something to do, obviously, with the Moora River, though.
Yeah, and to do with the connection of the two rivers in Moora. I think that's what it is. But no, I'm not a historian on that, so I don't really know.
See, the Pierce Air Boys are flying around. Now, before we came out, I went on the net, went to the old AskTed website, and I said, look for places or things to do, whatever. And it said, none for this area. But there's a lot to do in this area. And also, too, I noticed, as I mentioned earlier, with the education, they work very hard at making sure that there's a lot of things to do for the kids and people around the area.
Yes, well, we've got pretty good educational facilities up here in the district high school. We've got 2 primary schools, plus we've got a new TAFE centre as well. So education-wise, we do really cater for this region very, very well. And there is a lot to do up here. And I guess we're like all country towns. You make your own fun when it comes. But we've got a lot of sporting venues, and I guess the one of our weak links at the moment is that we haven't got a good cultural centre, but we're working on that with the town hall. Just got all the funding for that, so hopefully within the next 2 years we'll have a first-class facility there for some of the cultural events that we'd like to
get Wayne Simmons up here to have a song for you or something. Yeah. You've also got, we'll talk a little bit later on to Phil Manning. He's going to tell us a little bit about what goes on at Easter here. But what's the big push with the Shire? What's the thing that you're looking for with the future?
One of our directions that we're heading now is with economic development, value adding or attracting other businesses up here, value adding to the industries that we've got already here, like the agricultural industries, and we've been pretty successful in attracting the possibility of a feed mill going in, which is they will employ somewhere around about 35 people. So we're looking. That's one of our pushes, and we've just got a staff member that's dedicated to that at the moment, economic development, and we see that as our area of push rather than tourism. Whilst this is a very good area to visit, day trip, we don't see us as being a real tourism area. Got a lot to see for those that are travelling through.
It's a nice quiet place too. People want to get away, forget your bolly, come to Moora.
That's right, yeah, and certainly it's worth coming up here for a day trip or even a couple of days, and we've got some very good facilities in town to cater for people like that. But our main drive is economic development.
Well, it's a very welcoming town, and you and all your councillors and everyone have obviously doing a great job and pushing forward to the future. So thanks for being on Balls and All anyway.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
Let's hope there's a booming crop this year.
Yeah. Well, we certainly will be. We'll come back here in 6 months' time and see what this paddock looks like.
Then I'll be standing up to my knee, up to here and wait, maybe.
That'll be it. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Well, big thanks to Mick there. It's a great place to visit. As you can see, the beautiful hills. The hills are alive here in Moora, and I'm just about to go for my jog. So I'll be back right after the break with a bit more of what's happening here in Moora. So Moora, we'll be back. Hi Hi everybody, welcome back from the break, and we're out in the middle of the Oval at Moora because today was meant to be a big day when the Eagles were supposed to come out. We'll talk about that. They didn't make it, and there's all these kids behind, but I'm talking to Rebecca and Craig from the college. And hi Rebecca, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
And Craig, how you going, mate?
How you going, miss?
Tell us a bit about your role, first of all.
My role today? All right, we've organised this for the community, the wider community. We've had 13 schools altogether show up. Some are coming later on in the day. My role, I am a residential college supervisor, but myself and Craig also enjoy organising things for the wider community, the youth in particular of the Moora community.
And a lot of these kids aren't just from Moora, as you mentioned, they're from all over. We've also had a group come and go already because they're coming from big distances, and some kids told me they've traveled for a couple hours to get here. So roughly what ages are they, and what was today all about?
Okay, the students we have here at the moment are primary school ages. The day was all about participation in sport. The kids mainly came here to see the Eagles, that was the big draw card, but also to get involved in sport, to be healthy, to be active and just have a good time and realise that they can enjoy sport. Even if they don't know a lot about it, they can have a good time. And it's important to participate and be healthy.
See, it's easy, isn't it? Now, Craig, tell us a little bit about some of the other things that you guys get involved in, because you told us about something that was really exciting a little bit earlier, and you're going to be doing that again this year.
Yeah, well, apart from the visits from high-profile sportsmen that we do have, we also...
You got me here, of course. Everyone's seen my cricketing. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, gridiron apparently. Yeah, we do leadership camps for the students, which we try to extend the students at the college as much as possible, teach them life skills that country kids may not have learnt living in a small country rural area. Yeah, and we do take them to Perth. We extend the kids as much as possible, and we've got some things coming up later in the year that I don't want the kids to know about, which will absolutely extend them and give them a lot of work to do, but also they end up more mature and better people at the end of it. So.
Life skills, as you mentioned, and something that you said, like last year, you kind of gave them some cryptic notes. They had to go from one place to another, and a lot of exciting things happening all on the way that you already had planned. Were you involved with that as well?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Now tell us a bit about what's meant to be like the outcome of today for all the kids, as final result type of thing.
The final result is just to realise basically that sport is fun, that being healthy is enjoyable and they can do it. Also the drug-free message and the alcohol-free message, we always push that, and healthy eating and healthy living.
Now, the rough ages that you've had earlier today and you're having later, because it's not just primary school, you've had some high school as well?
No, years 4 to 7 this morning. We did 2 sessions with those guys, and we're having the high school kids today. So we had the first session, we had 150 students, about 130, 140, and we're the same again this afternoon. And we're finishing off the day with 2 games of football, years 12s to 14s, and then a years 15s to 17s after that. So all age groups, the young Colts types players who don't usually get a run on the weekend, we're trying to encourage them to sort of get out, have a go, encourage the parents to come down, watch their son have a kick, and just having a sausage sizzle to finish the day off, and really trying to encourage a family involvement, as you said, running around, having a kick, bit of fun, get mum and dad down here, have a look, that sort of thing.
Now, if anyone maybe would like to offer some help or whatever, like maybe the Dockers or something for a change, can they still get in touch with the college and have a chat with you?
Yes, they can call St James College. We're always looking at different things we can do, improving on what we've got today and on what we had last year, so we're always looking at people that would like to help us do that.
That's great. And any other upcoming things you guys are doing? It might be just St James, I'm not sure, but you mentioned something about hang gliding or something?
Well, that's in the wings. We're lucky at working at St James. We have got the option to work on community events. We do a lot of work for our students, and we try to offer our students at the college as much as possible. But we do try to involve the wider community, as we have done today. So we're looking at any option, any sport. If the kids are interested and it gets them out and active, sure, we can do it on a small scale with our own students, or a larger scale with up to 400 kids we've had today. So we're looking at any options and anything that's out there. So
it's a great effort, and on behalf of Bulls and all, I want to congratulate you guys for doing a great job, because you're doing something over and above than just the normal routine, getting your hours in and out. You guys are putting together the effort to do something, and hopefully when they get older they'll remember what you guys have done as well. So congratulations. Anybody you'd like to say thank you to?
we'd like to say thank you to numerous people. Firstly, St James College for allowing us the time and the ability to resources to be able to put this together. Also, numerous people that have helped us. The local drug action group has supported us with some cash for the day. Sport and Rec have also helped us. Buttercup Bakeries. The Water Corporation have supplied us with water throughout the day, which has been great.
Very helpful, yeah.
And just the local businesses, Pioneer Bakery and Gary Purse's Butchers, people like that who have actually given us discounts on the food and the resources we've needed to help the kids along today.
Fantastic. And also
Probably also just the schools that have travelled up to 2 hours to get here today.
teachers and drivers.
Yeah, teachers, drivers, and that's it costs the schools money to hire the buses. So I thank them for the support of the day, and it's a big effort really to travel 2 hours to do the coaching and to come in and support the event. So
Not to mention, of course, drug-free and be active and smarter than smoking, health-wise, all the gang as well.
Football Development Trust, who are sponsored by Be Active and and drug free. That's our message. So trying to keep the kids healthy, and hopefully the long term is they do participate in sport, whether it be football or other sport. They are active and they are healthy and have a good life. So.
All right, now if you get some of the other sports saying this and saying, well, geez, we would have come if we'd known, hockey or gridiron or anything like that, obviously should they give you guys a call and see what happens?
Yeah, absolutely. As I said, it's not just football, although football's a big sport in Moora and we do try to promote it, but anything that's going to get the kids up and active is a good thing and away from the TV set. So.
Yeah, so just in a final word from me, it would have been nice if the Eagles had come and helped out with these poor 400 kids that have come from so far, and up until like late last night they were on their way, but it didn't happen. So a bit of a shame there. Eagles should have got behind them and helped out with the kids.
Yeah, well, yeah,
No
I'll let you say that.
No comment. All right, thanks for talking to us, and we're going to try and catch up with some of the kids now while they're all sitting quietly. That's one of those phrases you don't ever really hear, is it?
No, not often.
All right, let's chat with some of the young guys and girls here. What's your name?
Jonathan,
And where are you guys from?
Canoe,
And where's Cadoo? Tell us, from all these people in the city that don't know where Cadoo is.
near Canoe and Wongan.
Near Wongan, all right, near Wongan Hills and all that area?
Now away. Yep. Darren?
All right, there's a big lake there, Lake Ningen?
Yep.
That's it?
Yep.
All right,
Near
cool.
Kalenni.
So you guys came from a bit of a distance, had a bit of fun today?
Yep.
Good, so you want to do it again next year?
Yep. Of course.
Good. And let's come over here to Milling, is it?
Marling.
Marling, all right, and where are you guys at?
Half an hour away from Moora.
Okay, so you're not that far away?
No. We're only half an hour.
Did you guys have a good time?
Yep. Yeah.
Good, so you come back and have a go next year?
Definitely.
Because next year what they're going to have is like where all the kids line up in the oval here, and they like run bulldozers over everybody. That sounds like a lot of fun, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They believe me too. And you guys are from where?
Kalenni.
And how far away is that?
About 7 miles.
How long?
40 k's from Darwin.
We need barking.
About 80 k's away. Oh, no, 100 k's.
Was it a good ride up here anyway?
Yep.
No?
Yeah.
Didn't you get to sing songs and have fun?
We did actually.
Oh, that's good.
But no music.
No music. You don't need music when you guys are out there having singing these good songs. He's got a Honda hat on too. Do you have a Honda?
Yeah.
All right.
We have Yamaha.
What size is it?
It's an 80.
And you ride it around?
We have Yamaha. 350. Yamaha. 350.
That's cool. That's cool. And you guys are from? Cervantes. And these guys probably all got motorbikes, is that right?
Yeah.
Up at Cervantes, where the big sand dunes are?
Yep.
So how'd you guys go? Have a good ride coming here?
Yep. Alright.
Didn't you get to sing songs in your bus?
Yeah, ring a ring a Rosie.
Hey?
Ring a ring a Rosie.
Ring around the rosy. Yeah. Didn't you guys get to sing any corn or cold chisel or anything like that?
Yeah.
Hi, where are you guys from?
Wanneroo.
And where's Wanneroo?
40 kilometres away.
40 k's. They've been rehearsing. See that? Let's do that one time. Where are you guys from?
Wanneroo.
You guys see the signals and everything? And you guys had a good time today?
Yeah.
And what was the best part?
Kicking the footy.
You're supposed to say meeting me. You're supposed to say meeting me. All right, let's try it again. And what was the best part?
Meeting you.
Oh, see? Who said kids don't lie? You had a good time anyway, didn't you?
Yep.
Good. And over here you can see some of the teachers all trying to hide and keep out of it. And what was the best fun for you, young man?
All of it was just fantastic.
Yeah.
Meeting you was pretty special, though.
He's listened in. And you guys, where have you guys all kind of come from?
We've come from Perth this morning, so from Perth Footy Club.
Yeah. From right at Perth there.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. And what was the kids like today?
Yeah, they were excellent. They were very keen. So try and get as much out of today as they can, and they all participated really well. So it was excellent.
You guys all with the Demons? Is that right?
I work for the Demons, and James over here plays for us. So
Good.
you want to have a chat to him, ask him how he's travelling.
Go the mighty Demons. They got the best colours, red and black.
Oh yeah, they're not too bad.
Fortunately, Essendon have them as well. So how's it going with the Demons, eh?
Yeah, it's going alright. Not so bad so far this season.
Is this your first year with them?
And I've been there since I was a little fella, since I was 13.
Okay.
Through the junior squads, but this is my first year in the senior teams.
Let me ask you a controversial question, all right? Because we were down with the Peel Thunder on the day that they were announced that they weren't going to play anymore. As a player, how do you feel about it? Not talking about politics and about coaching or presidents or anything. As a player, losing another team to play against, I suppose what I'm asking.
It's sort of a catch-22 with Peel. It's frustrating to travel all the way out to Mandurah to play, but then again you sort of you can't really not promote football down that area. Like, if you haven't got a local team, then it's hard to promote football down there. So you can't. It's pretty hard to.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to put you on the spot, but I know. But what I was thinking is, as a player, obviously I would be kind of pissed off. There's not one extra team to play against.
Well, they made us, so get rid of them.
Oh, get rid of them. Okay. Thanks for talking to us anyway. Hope you had a good day here, and it's great of you guys to come and support the kids anyway.
Cheers.
All right, everyone. Well, that's from the Oval here at Moora. The kids are all getting ready to go. And then there's a new lot already starting to roll up because it's happening all day long. Over 400 kids came today to get involved in sport, hopefully to meet the Eagles. They didn't show, sad about that. But that's the way it goes sometimes. All right, we're going to be going to a break, and we'll be back from Moora with a bit more Moora. Okay, here we are pretty much in the heart of Moora, right opposite the council buildings, and I'm talking to Lorraine Craven, who's a lady who wears a lot of hats around Moora, and she's going to tell us a bit about them. Hi Lorraine, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
Good. Tell us a bit about some of the hats you wear. First of all, tell us where we are and what this is all about.
Okay, where we're standing right now, right underneath us, was the town dam in days gone by, in the time of the early settlers, and this is where the horse teams, travellers, used to stop to water the horses. So right here where we're standing was actually a dam.
Okay.
And it was...
You mean like a natural spring where there was always flowing?
It was built as a collection, like it rained into. It wasn't a spring as such.
Yeah.
It was a dam. And along the road, coming past here, was a creek which was actually called the Anna Branch. Anna is Latin meaning simply a branch of the Moore River, and it ran past the War Memorial, right down through here and across over by the Information Bay, and it's all been filled in.
Okay.
The powers that be years and years ago thought to reclaim the watercourse and built the road and everything around it accordingly. But here was actually the watering hole for the teams of horses, and which is another reason that we have the bronze replica of the draft horse, because the horse played such a huge role in actually settling the district. It was a workhorse and it did a lot of work.
Because a lot of people forget, we see all the big machinery around and the huge tractors and trucks, and in fact a lot of machinery travel through Moora, as you know. But of course in the old days it was bullock, and it was by the big draft horse, wasn't it?
Big draft horse, yes, definitely. And he's probably the most underrated part of our history, or was, until the brainchild of one of our older statespeople who actually thought that the draft horse should be like any other important person in our history. The draft horse, for its contribution as a working animal, should be remembered. So Mr. Tonkin started raising money. He had this dream, and it came to fruition with raising enough money for the horse, the dog.
Yeah, let's just wander over to the dog here and have a bit of a look. Just watch my cord. Now tell us a bit about the dog here.
I think when Mr. Tonkin's work to raise the money was so well done, and he actually had more money than was needed for the horse, so there was a bit left over for the dog. And of course, you know, the squatters couldn't be without their dogs for obvious reasons, rounding up the sheep, etc. So there was enough money left over to recognise and to make a tribute to the working dog.
Fantastic. So we got where the water hole used to be, and of course a tribute to the dog. But all over town, I notice here we've got these giant murals, and you're actually involved with all that. Tell us a bit about the murals.
Well, I'm not actually. I wasn't involved in the initiation of these, but I'm actually presently a representative on the Painted Road Committee, and the murals are interconnecting towns along the scenic way, which is from Perth virtually through this scenic route to Geraldton, and there are 10 participating towns which are linked through these murals.
Okay.
And it is called the Painted Road, which is the concept and intellectual property of an artist called John Williamson, who oversees most of the murals and the setting up of them. Yes, obviously this mural was to enhance the statue, and it depicts the working horse, the draft horse, with the farmer carting the hay. So it was an ideal backdrop for this magnificent statue that Mr. Tonkin
And is that anyone in particular in the picture there?
It is actually, it has been painted to look a bit like Mr. Tonkin,
Okay.
yes, himself.
Right. But across the road over there at the council building, we've got another great mural. Tell us a bit about that.
That mural was actually produced as a result of a grant, and it depicts, obviously in the middle, the result of many years of overcropping and overclearing. On the left-hand side of the mural, there is the land as it was in its pristine condition, with the Indigenous inhabitant depicted in the corner. And then on the other side, the conservationist teaching the children and showing them how to reforest the area to protect against further salinity.
And did we have a lot of trouble with salinity here in the Moora region?
I mean, in their quest to get crops going and take advantage of the climate and the perfect conditions, the settlers and the farmers just went absolutely crazy and just and cut a lot of stuff down, which results in the salinity that we see depicted in that mural.
Plus too, a lot of the early farmers came in and had to clear for land, and they didn't realise, of course, to leave a few trees doesn't hurt.
No, in those days, of course, they didn't. They did not have the knowledge of what would happen to the land as a result of overclearing. And now, of course, we know that it's reached, terrible proportions, and we have to do something to prevent it.
Now, still wandering around here, Lorraine, we see the State Emergency Service building behind us. Now, I know they played such a huge role in 1999 when the big floods came through, but what's the building for now?
The State Emergency Service have just moved into their new premises, which is on the other side of the town in Ranfurly Street, next to the high school. And this little building has been salvaged and will be used as a tourist information centre, but also to house the very extensive archives of the Moora Historical Society.
Will it be open where public can come and have a look at some of the...
Absolutely. When it becomes a tourist centre, there is a concept that the Shire will look into budgeting to include putting money in for wages, so that this will actually be opened most of the time for people when they come through town, to take some of the onus off the office staff over in the council building.
If someone in the city who used to live in Moora or has something that might be of interest for the up and coming museum and tourist information office, whatever, would they be able to contact maybe the Shire or something and talk about it and see if they want to donate it for people to look at?
Yes, they can do that, or they can contact the Moora Historical Society, just care of the Post Office, Moora, and yes, they can let someone on the society know that they have something to donate or information to provide. Further to that, if people who have links in the past with Moora, they can actually approach us for family records which are in our archives. So
okay, good. Okay, wandering along, but Wandering is actually a whole different town. We're in Moora. Down the back there, across the road there, we see a beautiful waterfall and a gazebo and a St. James Anglican Church, you were saying?
Yes, that's right. The site of the gazebo and the tourist information bay and the beautiful waterfall was actually a parish hall, and in 1953 when I started school I actually had year one in that building.
Okay. And of course St. James, this beautiful building there with the stonework. Was there a lot of stonework, say in Moora's earlier times?
Yes, St. James Church and the post office and the old courthouse are all erected of stone. There are some private houses, and I'm not too sure about the church, but the houses, two houses, the post office and the courthouse, were actually designed and built by the same architect and builder early in the 20th century.
Now we know that there's another mural over there which we see to the army camp that was here. Can you tell us a bit about that?
That mural was commissioned by the RSL, obviously the Returned Services League, for a Back to Moora weekend, an army weekend, when all survivors of forces who were camped here during the Second World War returned to Moora for the weekend, for just a weekend of memories, and to go and look at the sites where they were actually camped. And these sites have actually been marked and identified in past years by people of the RSL, local RSL. The army was positioned here it was thought to be a good spot to be because the Japanese were believed to be anchored off Jurien Bay, had a large aircraft carrier in international waters off Jurien Bay, and the army was here for obvious reasons, that it was, directly due west of Jurien Bay, and there were a lot of troops here.
Now, you're one other job I'd like to touch on that you do is tourist information and also tourists. And when I looked on the net, as I said to the Shire President, it said there's nothing happening here. But tell us a bit about Moora if you can. And when people come here, even if they want to come up as a day visit or come up and spend the night, what kind of things, other than the peace and quiet and everything and the beautiful landscape, flat landscape, beautiful and green grass, what else is there to do?
Okay, well, Moora is a very vibrant, Moora and the Shire of Moora, very vibrant community. The town has around 1,790 people and the Shire in excess of 2,000. So it is the centre of a very lucrative farming, that is wheat, sheep, cattle area, and is one of the few places in Australia that don't suffer the extremes of drought, or I was going to say flood, but yes, we do have flood in Moora because we are right on a floodplain, and unfortunately the 99 floods, which we don't like to dwell on, sort of caught us on the hop, but they're pretty rare occurrences. We have a senior high school which has around about 260 students from year 8 to year 12. We have a hospital, we have 4 banks, operating banks, which is really good for a country town because...
That's something we were surprised because the banks keep closing down, and nice banks too, by the way. Went to the Commonwealth, lovely people there.
Obviously, as you know, we have a fine arts gallery, which was an initiative of a group. We have, I think I've mentioned hospital, we have a primary school and a private Catholic primary school. and
Of course, St James College over there, and a TAFE.
and a TAFE.
Now, when
Yes,
let's just talk a second now. When the flood came, because there's another mural on the wall over here at the I think it's Make It Hardware, whatever.
Yeah.
This place right here was actually underwater where we're standing now. Is that right?
Where we're standing was probably the worst affected in town because, as I mentioned before, this was actually a watercourse. This was the Anna branch of the Moore River One, and drainage was put under the town, but unfortunately water tends to follow its natural course, and this is where it hit. This is where it was deepest, around about where we're standing and through to the intersection up there.
So anybody there, Perth, you want to come up to Moora, have a look. It's safe. You can walk here. It's dry.
It's absolutely safe. It's wonderful, and you know, these sort of things don't happen every day.
Nah.
That was probably a one-off. And look, Moora is a wonderful place to live. I've lived here all my life. I've raised my children here. They have all left, but I stay here because I love my community. And yeah, I guess I'll die here.
Okay, well, thanks very much for talking to us, Lorraine. Now, if anybody wants to find out a bit more about Moora, like that, about the upcoming museum and, of course, the fine arts or even tourism, is there a web page or a phone number, or what's the best way they can find out about it?
Okay, at this stage, I can recommend the best way to find out is to ring the Shire of Moora on their listed number, and just take it from there. I mean, that's a pretty easy thing to do, to ring, and we'll accommodate the best way we can. It's there's a fairly comprehensive network from our Shire, and they will make sure that you're accommodated in anything that you need to know about visiting Moora.
Thanks, Lorraine Craven, for talking to us on Balls and All. It's been very much appreciated.
Thank you.
Well, it's turning a little bit evening now, and something special, something that's just starting here in Moora is right behind me. Is something happening. I'm talking to the owner, and I'm talking to Jared. Hi, Jared. How are you?
How are you, young man?
Good, good. Now, tell us a bit about what's happening here on Thursday night.
Thursday night's pig out night. Bring your family down here, $9.95, eat as much as you can, or $7 will give you a steak or a bit of seafood to go with that.
Fantastic.
Bring your own grog in, seems to keep people a bit longer out this way.
Now tell us what's on the menu tonight.
Beautiful salad bar, every salad known to man, nice rumps, porterhouse steaks, also seafood baskets, things like that. Yeah, nice sweets as well, bottomless tea and coffee.
Fantastic, and that's right here at the bakery, and you guys do a lot of other things like during the day for bakery. Good bread, I'm told.
Yeah, beautiful bread here. Local buns that we supply throughout the district here. We also do your lunches every day, fresh made rolls, things like that. We'll come and dine in, relax and enjoy the day.
Fantastic. So if you're coming into Moora, just keep coming along the main drag, and then on the left-hand side. But I'm talking to you also about something else happening in the long weekend in June, and you and your buddies are going to be down at Manjimup for the big Manjimup No Mercy Challenge.
You betcha. That's something we always look forward to, and every year it can't come quick enough. There's about 3 of us heading down from here, including the local baker, so the bread quality might not be there that weekend, but we'll be back.
Because he'll be out there trying to make some dough. Oh, it's a bakery joke. Thanks for talking to us, Jared.
No worries. You have a good night.
Thanks, mate. G'day, everyone. Well, we've had a great time here in Moora, and I'm happy to catch up with Phil Manning, who's also, him and his wife Nola looked after us while we're here. But I'm going to have a chat with Phil a bit about something else he's involved in, and next Easter, a book market, because it may be a great event for you to come and bring the family along to. Now, Phil, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks, Moose.
Tell us a bit about the big event that's happening. You just had one. Tell us first of all about the one you just had last Easter, just about a month ago.
Yeah, Easter was about a month ago, whatever, yeah. Well, we had Jimmy Barnes in Moora for our annual Easter concert, which originally started year 2000.
Because of flood relief, I found that part out, and to raise funds and help out with the gang here. And your first concert, who was that with?
Lee Konigan originally, yeah. Okay. And he did a Pass the Hat tour, which is like a free concert for people in need or communities in need. And both the Shire and the Apex Club of Moora approached or wrote to Lee and asked him to, could he come and do the Pass the Hat tour. So that's how it originated, and he did it for nothing, and we raised some good money for the local town hall. So we decided to run as a community and do it every year at Easter, and we've sort of made it a bit country the year after with Tanya, his sister, and Gina Jeffries and Troy Casadali. And then last year we went a bit different. We got Jimmy Barnes. But next year we're going back to country because it's more family and we get a lot more people.
Now that's going to happen again next Easter?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Yes, we've got Adam Brand booked and we're looking at Casey Chambers. Hopefully we can get her.
Now, something else I want to thank you about too is, as I mentioned, we stayed here at Manning on Moor, which is a bed and breakfast establishment, which is fantastic. And even though Nola's been away, I'm sure that she's been involved in looking after us as well. And it's just a great place. So if you are coming to Moora and you want a place to stay, get in touch with them here and tell us just a little bit about Manning on Moor.
Manning on Moor. Oh well, Manning on Moor is one of the many bed and breakfasts in Moora. There's 5, I think, and they're all very good. Not only Manning on Moor, but they're all very good. And it was Nola's idea, and she decided we've got a good motel, and we've got the local hotel that cater for guests, but they're mainly the workers. Moor is a very central place. So we needed something just mainly for the more professional people, and all the bed and breakfasts cater for them.
You've got 7 rooms here, some singles, some doubles, and in the kitchen here, everything's well set up. With of course, you got the TV if they want to watch a bit of TV at night, and log fire, central heat. It's just well set up the way you guys have done it. So. On behalf of us, thank you very much. And I'll just get the phone number off you if I can, for if someone wants to ring up and find out a bit more about it.
I don't ring it very often, but I can remember it's 96511279. And yeah, it's just an ordinary place, really. Everyone in Moora has a TV.
Yeah, oh really? That's fantastic. So people can watch TV in other houses as well.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, thanks for looking after us so well. And don't forget Easter, if you want to find out a bit more about that. Can they ring the same number? Shall they ring the Shire, or where would they find out about that?
Yeah, the best contact is the Shire, which is 511 96 511 401 for sure. But we are heavily involved, and they can ring our number too if they like. But don't ring to booking, we're fully booked.
Okay, so there you go. So if you want to come down next Easter, or if you want to just come away, it's a great place. The ride here is beautiful. Come up for a night or something. The drive. Well, if someone else is driving, then you're riding, see? But unfortunately, I was driving. Okay, well, thanks very much for that. It's been great, and thanks also to Nola as well. Yeah, well, everyone, we've had a great stay here in Moora. I hope you've enjoyed the show, and if you get the opportunity, definitely come to Moora. Don't forget, give Manning on Moora a call. Lovely people. They really looked after us so well when we came here. And as we mentioned earlier too, if you have young ones who might need a bit of a stay at the school, give St. James College a call. Go see our buddies at the bakery. Everyone looked after us so well. Very friendly town. When they say Moora welcomes you, they really mean it. It's been wonderful here. Just one other thing I want to mention too is next week we're going to have a special draw, because Time Glow wanted to give a second prize out, and we'll be doing that next week. Wayne, Action, James, the whole gang will be back with us again next week. I hope you've enjoyed our little visit to Moora. Hi everybody, Moose here, and I hope you've enjoyed our show we brought you about Moora, but I've just popped in real quick to tell you about something that's happening this coming Saturday, and if I left it, well, it goes by for another month, and I'm having a chat with some people here who's going to tell you all about it. We're talking about the Blue Light Disco, and I'm talking to Les, who's way over here in red. Hey Les, how you going, mate?
Fine, thanks, Moose.
And I'm talking to Mark. Hi Mark, how are you?
How are you, Moose?
He remembers me. And Jade. Hi Jade, how are you? So we had to have someone good looking amongst the 4 of us. Tell us a little bit about, I'll start with you Jade, tell us a little bit about the Blue Light Disco.
It's basically somewhere where kids can come, safe environment and have some fun. So provide sort of music, and they know that nothing sort of untoward is going to happen.
That's good. And of course under police supervision, which is very handy to know.
We try to play the latest music that's available, and a lot of it's requests. We've been experimenting with different DJs over the last few months to try and settle on one that the kids enjoy, and you can tell where a DJ is getting across to the kids. The kids are moving around, they're dancing, they're enjoying themselves. That sort of image is what we're trying to get across. We're trying to show that we are the latest, we're the best. It's a positive image that we're trying to create.
You're there for the kids. Now, the deal is, obviously the parents drop the kids off. They're not actually allowed to leave the building until the parents come and retrieve them. So as a parent out there, you don't have to worry about the kids being dropped off and wandering off.
At this blue light, at this event, we do the best we can to try and make it as safe as possible. No one can get out, no one can get in.
Excellent. Now, parents out there or even some of the kids want to know a bit more about it. Is there a web page or a phone number they can get in touch with you, or what's the details? Is it just roll up on the day, or how do they go about it?
The event occurs on the first Saturday of every month without fail. The only time that doesn't happen is in January, which is one month a year we have a day off.
Slack buggers.
The first Saturday of the month, they come along. It starts at 7:30. If the parents drop them at the door, we've got supervisors out there. I have officers patrolling out in the car parks, out on the oval, around the thing. The officers are out there right throughout the whole event there to make sure that if anybody rolls up or rocks up that we don't want there or we think may cause us some problems, they're immediately removed.
Now, where is it held at?
At the Ocean Ridge Rec Centre on Sale Terrace in Heathridge.
That's excellent. Now, starting time and cost, etc.?
We start at 7:30 and it's $5. You just pay at the door. So
there's food and drink on sale there. If you need water or anything like that, we provide. We practice host responsibility, which is looking after the people that we have there. We have a duty of care to the kids. We provide water and things like that. There's first aid. If they come to a supervisor, they should be able to say to that supervisor, I've got a problem, and that supervisor's been instructed prior to speaking to the kids to come and tell either myself or another officer, and then we'll deal with whatever the problem is.
Well, that's a great effort, and obviously that's happened a lot by you guys working so long at it for so many years. Congratulations and all the best, and make sure you get your kids down there. Phone number, did we do a phone number?
You can contact me at Midland Police Station, that's where I'm currently at. It's 9250 6500 or 274 6500, either one of those. I'll give you a mobile number that you can contact me on. It's on 24 hours. No crank calls, please. It's 041 94 95 903, and I'll be able to answer any queries you may have about the blue light. Alternately, if your child comes along and they have a problem there and we don't find out about it, by all means contact me. I'm available to answer your questions anytime you want to. Just ask for most of the time Senior Constable Channing's at the moment acting sergeant.
So Les, Mark and Jade, thanks very much for that, and all the best to everyone that goes down there and has a good time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks, Moose.
If you want good sporting apparel, make sure you go to